Welcome to Replenish the Atmosphere of Discovery, where we discover the Master's plan for our lives. So today's session is Becoming a Visionary. Becoming a Visionary. Okay. So your ability to envision or visualize your future is directly tied to your beliefs and your imagination. Your ability to envision or visualize your future is directly tied to your beliefs and your imagination. Your imagination is a tool that God has given you to explore the many possibilities in this life. But sometimes your imaginations are submitted to whatever you're being influenced by. So that's why who and what you are being influenced by should be consistently checked out, right? To make sure that it's not negatively influencing your vision. Okay. So your vision is directly tied to your beliefs and your imagination. So you have to be careful about what that is being influenced by, because if it is being influenced negatively, then you will have negative vision, right? If your imaginations are not submitted to God's design or God's created plan for your life, it will begin to insert options, right? Which will cause you to reason with the truth. And the truth is always what God said, right? What God wants you to do, who God created you to be. That's always the truth. But when your imaginations are not submitted to his design, then you will begin to insert options, right? And so at this point in your life, no other options should be able to insert themselves into what was already written about you, about who you are, about what you would do, right? The tool that you use to reason with yourself is your imagination. Your imagination is fed through every single thing that you hear, everything that you see, everything that you feel from your conception up until this point. So everything you've seen, heard, or felt from your conception until this point is what has fueled your imagination, right? When your imagination is fueled by negative influences, your vision becomes distorted or non-existent, okay? Which means that the thoughts of your future is full of uncertainty and full of fears. So instead of seeing change as a catalyst, you see change as a threat, which makes it impossible for you to dream big, for you to believe big, and for you to envision a positive future, right? We're talking about becoming a visionary. And some of you are visionaries, right? You just may have been blocked. Your vision may have been blocked due to experiences and circumstances in your life. So when we are addressing the changes that we need to make, there needs to be an expectation. There needs to be a goal. There needs to be a vision, right? And the goal has to stop being to fail. Stop making it your goal to fail. If someone presents a new idea to you, you automatically assume that it's going to fail, right? How many of you only envision failure at every suggestion someone has? You're constantly envisioning yourself failing, right? You never try more than once, or you may only try twice, but that's all you give. How many of you only envision failure? When your expectations are fueled by what you believe, that is when you have 100% confidence, right? Without any percentage of doubt, okay? And what you believe, you have no doubt in. So your expectations must be fueled by belief. When your expectations are fueled by belief with no doubt, you don't give up that easily. You don't just try one or two times, right? And so you're not going to do what you don't believe in. You only try a few times because you don't believe you will be successful. You've only been envisioning failure. Okay. And the reason why you don't believe is because of what you've been imagining. What has been feeding your imagination? There is a negative influence in your circle, and you need to find out who or what it is and then eliminate its access to you. whether it's a thought, whether it's a feeling, whether it's the types of songs you've been listening to, whether it's the types of movies you've been watching. Maybe it's the company you keep, right? You need to find out who or what it is that has been fueling your imagination, causing you to constantly envision failure, right? Or if you don't want to eliminate its access to you, you can keep it and continue to fail. You can keep it and continue to dream of failure. But is that worth it, right? We were created to live this life, not just exist in this life, right? So even if your last season was roadblock after roadblock, you must still believe that it is possible for you to get through it. Some roadblocks and detours actually put you back on the right path, right? Because if you went in the wrong place or you went around the wrong people, you still fail, right? It just takes longer and it wastes a lot of resources and a lot of time. When you believe in your expectations, right, the changes you're going to make, that should be first on the canvas of your imagination, okay? When you set your expectations and you believe in them, meaning there's no room for doubt, the changes that you're going to make should be first on the canvas of your imagination. It should be your vision, right? And then that vision intertwines with your personality and becomes your way of being. So in order for that vision to manifest, your expectations have to shift, okay? You have to believe in what you are expecting. You have to make changes to your mindset in order for that vision to manifest, okay? And then you have to change your influences, right? Some of you have changed your mind. You've done the work. You changed your expectations, but you refuse to change what's influencing you. The vision is not going to manifest, okay? Restoring your vision means that you agree to see and think beyond where you are, right? It means that you agree to see the future with wisdom and insight, okay? Becoming a visionary is when this type of mindset has become a part of your foundation, right? You're always seeing and thinking beyond where you are right now at this moment. This is how you know if you are a visionary. Visualize your outcome in a positive light, okay? Stop just seeing stop signs and no's. Visualize your outcome in a positive light for any situation, right? That should be your first thought, okay? A lot of times we will visualize the income we want, for example, right? But we never do anything about it. Why? Why do we say, I want to be here, or I want this type of financial freedom, but we don't do anything about it? Because we don't really believe we're capable of achieving it, okay? Whether it's because we don't want to do the work, right? Maybe we don't want to do the work, or maybe we don't value our contributions to this world, okay? Something in your reasoning stops you from making a plan for what you are expecting. So you can have visions or dreams where you just want something, right? And you attach your hope to it, but you don't attach a plan to it. And so we cannot visualize the end without putting us in the picture, right? You have to put yourself in the picture, not just see the end, right? You have to put yourself in the picture. If you can't see it or visualize it, you won't hope for it. You have to see yourself walking it out, working it out, seeing it through. You have to see yourself walking it all the way through to the end, okay? And that means whatever you have to pass up, whatever you have to jump over, whatever you have to let go of, you do that because you have an expectation, you have a vision, you have a hope in your future that you are 100% confident in. And so what happens is we don't really believe. We're not 100% convinced that this is possible. And that's what causes us to lose sight of the vision, right? Visionaries see the potential in spite of what is seen or felt in that very moment. So they're not just going off of emotions. They're not just going off what they think or what they feel in that moment. They see potential In spite of that, they see beyond that moment. Okay. Are you capable of seeing beyond where you are? Do you see a future where what seems impossible now is possible in the future? If not, you might be stuck in a place where you have become blinded by the reasoning of what's been influencing you. And I don't mean reasoning in a productive way, because reasoning can be productive when it's directed the right way, when you're going in the right direction. I'm talking about the reasoning that's an argument within yourself. You are arguing yourself out of what you should have, who you should be, and the places that you're supposed to go. You're arguing yourself out of those. That's the reasoning that I'm talking about that's negatively influencing you. These arguments will take over your mind until you fully believe them. And then at this point, the negative influence isn't even needed anymore because you begin sabotaging yourself. Okay. Your great uncle or your granny's negative view of you is still living in your mind, even though they may be dead and gone. Your ex-boyfriend, your ex-girlfriend, what they said about you is still influencing your vision today. Your third grade teacher, what she said about you, what he said about you, any person in leadership, what they said, their view of you is causing your vision to be distorted, right? The abandonment, the rejection from maybe your siblings or your parents, your old friends, your old boss that gave you that negative performance review, right? All of these negative influences are living on, even though these people are no longer actively in your life, right? It affects your vision. And their disagreement with God about you has cursed you, and you are continuing to accept it instead of changing, instead of agreeing with God in order to break that curse and stopping these arguments from going on within you. Okay. Visionaries make plans. Visionaries make plans. And when something changes, they just make a new plan. They don't crash and burn or freak out about it, right? So remember, change is a catalyst. It can put you back where you need to be, okay? Because guess who sees further than you? God, right? So if he makes a change, you just change with his changes, okay? When God redirects you, it's a good thing for you. And if your imagination is fueled correctly by positive influences, then you will come up with an even better plan, and it would align with a better future than what you imagined before, because you're in a new environment, right? So when God redirects you, it's not something bad, okay? Visionaries eventually become masters at discipline and maintaining direction. It may not look like it, right? But they eventually become masters at discipline and maintaining direction. They are directionally focused. Even if the world around them is chaotic, they are going in the right direction, right? They're going towards the fulfillment of the vision. And it takes discipline to keep a sound mind and not get easily distracted when your environment is chaotic, okay? So those that master this are often the type of people that chaos seems to be attracted to. So you have to know when to go in and when to come out. And it's your job to maintain sound vision all the way to the fulfillment of that vision, right? It's nobody else's job to do it for you. It's our job to maintain the vision and see it all the way through until the fulfillment, right? Visionaries see it through, okay? They see it through to completion. Stop stopping short, okay? Falling short of the glory is a choice. It's a decision, okay? And I'm talking about falling short of the glory of God, falling short in your body, in your mind, in your future, in your relationships, right? See the vision to the end. Stop stopping short. Visions with no plan towards the end or no completion is just a fantasy. A visionary brings forth and completes ideas that not only changes their world, but changes the world around them change the world to come. Okay. It's something that sticks generation to generation. Visionaries don't live in regret, because regret is a powerful emotion that causes interruptions. And regret is an interruption that can permanently stop your progress and cause you to never fulfill the vision. Regret is your reaction to your shoulda, woulda, couldas, right? It's a comparison of the state you're in now versus where you were. Okay. And regret can cause interruptions because you can end up stuck there. Okay. Visionaries don't allow themselves to be stuck anywhere. They are constantly changing while still maintaining the direction towards the end goal. They still have the vision in mind. They have the end in mind. They don't allow interruptions like that, right? The most common regret or interruption is having enough confidence and courage to live your life to the fullest, to live the life that you were destined to live. That is the most common regret, right? A lot of people, they get to the end of their lives and they say, man, I wish I really would have taken um, all of the opportunities that were offered to me. If you allow this regret to turn into guilt, it will start affecting your soul and your body. And when it starts affecting your soul and your body, that means your will is now involved, right? Your will is now affected by what you should have, would have, could have done. Okay. And guilt is transferable. Guilt can be transferred to your children, right? To your close family members, to your friends, because guilt is very generous. It likes to share. It loves to give. And so you have to be careful with that you don't live in a state of regret that turns into guilt. And then everybody else around you now feels guilty every time something good happens to them. They don't really want to share it with you. So don't live in regret. Make a new plan to change, and then change the world. This is what a visionary does. And I want you to know that visions are, the timing of visions are set. They are fulfilled at appointed times. There is a period of time between here and there that you will get to fulfill this vision before that period closes, right? And some people close their eyes for the final time, never experiencing the visions that they have, never seeing the fulfillment of the visions that they've had or that people have had about them, right? Because maybe they didn't want to change. Maybe they didn't want to do the work. Maybe they didn't want to be put in a new environment, right? They didn't want to change their friends. They didn't want to change their habits. That causes your vision to be distorted, and you will literally make up a new one based off your imaginations that were fueled by your negative influences, right? So clear out your imagination. If you know you're constantly thinking about the negative things that someone has said, and you find that it often comes up when you're getting ready to do something new, right? When someone offers a new opportunity to you, you find that all of those negative influences, those bad scenes you saw in the movie, all of those old sad songs coming, like all of those negative influences, like they gather together and have a meeting to try to stop you from fulfilling the vision. You have to be careful about that. Visionaries never allow themselves to get stuck. They just change the plan and they keep going in the same direction. And the direction they're going is to the fulfillment of the vision. Okay. If you've had a vision, maybe you had a vision at 10 years old. Maybe you forgot it, right? Maybe someone told you that will never happen for you, right? But there's a reason why it was your vision. Okay. I want you to put that on your mind. And I want you to choose to have an expectation of the fulfillment of this vision. Okay. And not only have an expectation or the hope, from that point, choose to believe the vision. And that means you have to kick out every form of doubt, because belief is to be 100% confident in this. Okay. So that's what I want you all to work on for the next week. If you missed last week's, it's important that you get last week's session in so you understand why it is important to be a visionary. You want to be where you're supposed to be, mentally, physically, emotionally, spiritually, financially, all the ways, right? So that concludes this session for today. I hope that you're getting back on track and you are going to write the vision, right? Because visions speak. You can only declare what you have revelation of. If you allow them to declare the negative stuff over you, well, why don't you start declaring the vision? Start declaring the revelation and then write it down. You see the vision, you begin to declare the vision, you write the vision, and then what are we going to do after that? We're going to do the vision, right? We're going to see it to its fulfillment. And so visions give direction, they give instruction, they encourage you, right? They give you revelation. I want you to fully embrace being a visionary. Don't allow yourself to be stuck in regret. Don't allow yourself to be filled with guilt. Become masters at discipline and become masters at following the direction towards the end. Don't get stuck looking at so-and-so's vision. Follow the vision and the plan for your life. Okay, so dust off those old visions. If they're still in your head, get them on paper, start declaring them out loud, start doing them so that you can start seeing the fulfillment of these visions. And the fulfillment of visions cancels regret. It cancels the guilt, right? It cancels the shame, right? So that can no longer be used against you. And so if I can interrupt you, if I can cause you to stop in the middle of that process, I can keep you feeling regret. I can keep you feeling guilty. I can keep you being ashamed, right? That doesn't mean that's who you are. It just means you're not trying. So try, bring up the vision, put it back on the forefront of your mind. Clean out your imaginations. Get rid of all of those negative influences, right? And like I said, your influence, your imaginations are influenced by whatever you've seen in your entire life, whatever you've felt, whatever you've heard in your entire life. So that's why we have to renew our mind, right? Because we're always getting negative things. And so we have to renew our mind to make sure we are washing it and cleaning it out so that our vision don't become distorted, so that we don't become blinded by the world that we live in. We should be the ones that are making the changes to this world, not the world changing us. Okay, so that concludes the session for today. Clean out your imagination, get rid of the negative influences around you. No matter if it's a it or who, get rid of them. Also, write them down. Write down the vision, declare the vision, and then do the vision. Okay. So I will see you next week, visionaries. Have a blessed weekend.